Hello, good morning everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This morning we're going to be taking a look at how you can manage your service and maintenance process within 4PS Construct. My name's Adam Barker, I'm an account manager here at 4PS, and I'm joined this morning by Karina Ray, who is one of our consultants, and she's going to be taking you through the bulk of today's session. But before I hand over to Karina, I thought I'd just give you a bit of an introduction to 4PS as a company and let you know what it is that we do. So we are 4PS, a digital transformation company working in the construction industry. Now what we do is we help construction businesses of all shapes and sizes improve their business processes and efficiencies through various different software tools. Now the software that we provide is all based on Microsoft's Business Central platform. Now Business Central is Microsoft's leading ERP system for businesses, and we've taken that platform and we've developed and enhanced it to deal with all the nuances of a construction business. So what's good about that is the core of our system is maintained by one of the biggest business solutions providers across the world, which means we can really focus on addressing the needs of the construction industry here in the UK. So we've been in existence for around 22 years now, and we've been implementing software solutions all over the globe since then. Our HQ is in the Netherlands. We have an office in Belgium. We've recently opened an office in Germany, and we have our UK office here in Birmingham. We've also got a network of partnerships covering the rest of the globe, which has helped us to deliver over 400 implementations. In terms of our team, we've got around 300 members of the 4PS family, with a large bulk of those being our own in-house developers who are continually working to improve the product. As we work so closely with Microsoft, we do actually hold the Inner Circle accreditation with them, which, aside from looking great in PowerPoints, also means that we've a really strong relationship with Microsoft at all levels. And what that means is we can be on the cutting edge of the technological advancements that are coming out of Microsoft, and in some cases even have an influence on the roadmap of the product moving forward. So I'd say, just to summarize some of the key messages about 4PS as a business, is that we help one industry, which is the construction industry, and we use Microsoft software to do that using our single software solution, 4PS Construct. So we've mentioned Business Central a couple of times there, so I thought what I'd do is just give you a very brief overview of sort of the build-up of that product and how we have built on that to deliver some of these construction-specific business areas. So you may well be familiar with Business Central. It was previously known as Dynamics NAV or NAV, and it's a very well-known, very widely used ERP system across numerous different businesses all over the globe. So a lot of manufacturing, distribution businesses, finance businesses all use Microsoft Business Central. And as you can see there, that covers all of your sort of typical ERP type processes that you come to expect. Everything from customers to sales, finance, purchasing, invoicing, fixed assets up there as well. So it really does aim to cover a business process from end to end. And it really is, truly is an end-to-end system. Now, whilst that's great and a really good starting point, it's very generic. And we all know that there are particular quirks in the construction industry that will require some very sort of specific functionality to be able to manage those business processes. So what we've done in 4PS Construct is added a heap of additional functionality on top of that core Business Central platform to address all of these other business areas that you would expect to manage in a construction ERP system. Everything there from managing leads, building estimates, creating budgets, going through the whole procurement process, managing subcontractors, CIS, applications for payment, plant service and maintenance as well, which we're going to be looking at a little bit today, and all the other processes that you'd need to manage throughout a project lifecycle. So this is a great way to manage all of those back office business processes that you'd need to manage as part of a construction business. And what this doesn't address is all of that really critical data that you would be picking up from your sites. So what we've done is we've introduced a bunch of portals and applications which are designed specifically for that use, for users of the system who aren't necessarily in the office, but still need to interact with the system to ensure that you've got a real understanding of where your project is at any one time. So we've got apps such as the Timesheet app, which is, as you'd expect, for employees and users to be able to submit their own timesheets, which obviously feed then directly back into the finance side of the system, linking with whichever project or service order they're working on. We've got the 4PS Control Portal, which we'll take a look at very quickly today, which is a portal to be used either internally, or you could point it out externally to perhaps subcontractors or clients of your own to be able to log issues if you're a service and maintenance business. We've got the Field Service app, which is for service engineers to be able to receive and send information about particular service calls that they're working on. So these tools really extend the reach of your ERP system. And of course, these are all integrated out of the box. So all of the data that's being captured on site is being automatically fed back into that back office system. And then, of course, because it's on a Microsoft platform, we benefit from all of the integrations that come from that Microsoft piece as well. So direct integrations with Outlook and the rest of the Office 365 suite. The use of Microsoft's Power Platform, so that includes things like Power Apps, Power Automate, and of course, Microsoft's BI tool, Power BI, which is a great way of visualizing some of this really crucial project data. And obviously, as Business Central is now a true SaaS and cloud-based product, you benefit from all of the great Microsoft infrastructure. Being on a SaaS platform, or software as a service platform, means that you're continually receiving updates to the product. There is a very extensive live roadmap for Business Central and for 4PS Construct as well. So whereas traditional perpetual and on-premise systems would have to go through lengthy big upgrade projects every couple of years, you don't have to do that anymore with a SaaS version of a product, which means that things such as capacity, users, infrastructure, accessibility, that's all handled by Microsoft, which gives you that peace of mind and lets you get on with your day-to-day role. So hopefully you're starting to see the sort of picture that we're building up here. We're really trying to touch as many areas of your business as possible, because the more areas and the more business processes that you can digitize, the more teams that you've got accessing one system and one version of the truth, the greater that your visibility is going to be, meaning you can make better and more informed decisions. And it also streamlines your business processes, meaning that your efficiency moving through the business is much better, saving both time and money. So to sort of demonstrate that sort of level of reach across a whole business and numerous different business processes, today we're going to be looking at the integrated service and maintenance module within 4PS Construct. And that's going to include things such as the 4PS Control Portal and Field Service app that we've just mentioned. So I'm going to hand you over to Karina now, who's going to take us through a demo of that and give you a better understanding of how you can manage your service and maintenance process within 4PS. So Karina, if you're ready, it's over to you.
Thank you for that, Adam. I will be taking over from Adam right now and show you a little bit more about the 4PS service and maintenance, the total service planning. As I mentioned before, my name's Karina and I'm one of the consultants, so I'll be taking over for this part. So what is 4PS service and maintenance actually? 4PS gives you actually total visibility for planned and preventive tasks or emergency repairs, where you can schedule your engineers to achieve an efficient project, which can be from a simple works order to an integration with your full construction system. 4PS service and maintenance deploys service staff efficiently and profitably. And I'll be showing you later in a little demo about how you'd be able to do that efficiently. To give you a little bit of background information, what is 4PS service and maintenance and where can it be used for? We can use it for small jobs. These can be call driven. We have no prior agreements with your customer, and the way of invoicing is cost plus billing. So every item or every hour that you spend, that you then send a invoice to your customer for it. Another thing that we've got is simple contracts, where you can have agreements on hour rates and or material prices. So for instance, a fixed hour rate and fixed prices for your materials. Another option is complex contracts, where you have agreements on response times. These could be your service level agreements, that you have your entire asset management within the system and within a contract, and that you perform preventive and corrective maintenance. Of course, all of these combinations are also possible within the system. So it's not just that you use it for one, but you could use it for all the different types of service that you might give to your customers. As mentioned before, 4PS Contract is a integral system. So it's one system that you can use for all your administrative processes. And specifically for the service and maintenance module, we've actually added some nice portals, a planning tool and an app too. So you can actually have your entire process flow within 4PS, that you can use it within one system, and that you're not bothered by double data entry. For instance, receiving an email from your customer saying, hey, we've got an issue, there's a problem. Could you please come and help us? And that from the email, you're typing all of that info into your back office, into your ERP system. We've actually said that we want to have that as less as possible. So not just using 4PS Contract, the back office, which is based on Windows on Business Central, that you wouldn't just use that, but you could add portals to it as well for communicating to your customer. We call that 4PS Control, and it's a customer portal where your customer can actually register a call or keep on updates or be updated on the status of certain orders. Going from 4PS Control, all of that info that they input there is then comes into 4PS Contract, the back office. And from there, your back office, your office staff can create a service order. And they can start planning that using the graphical resource planning, a tool that shows you graphically which resource is available, or that you can filter to their skill set. Like, okay, I've got an order for this skill set. Do I have a resource available with the same skill set as well? Just an easy way of planning your resources. And once you've planned one of your resources, you can then also say, okay, I will send the order to the field service app. And then from the field service app, your field engineer can start to process the order as well, actually fix the problem that your customer has. That could also be that when you're looking in the graphical resource plan, that you could see that your own resource did not have the right skill sets, or you don't have any resources available to do the job. You can also very easily add your subcontractors to the graphical resource planning as well to have them visible. And if you see that one of your own resources can't do the job, you could also say, okay, I'm going to issue it out to the subcontractor. Again, we then use 4PS Control as a communicating portal, but then it's a subcontractor point of view. So a subcontractor logs in and then can actually see all the work that's been issued to him as well. So if we look at 4PS Contract in the ERP system, we've got lots of tools to help us to have our entire service and maintenance process flow, to be able to use it all together. Of course, you don't have to use the portals or the resource planning tool or the service app, but it's a very nice way of having the entire flow within the system. To make it a little bit more easy to let you know what it's all about, I've actually created a little example. For instance, we've got the case for utilities. You yourself, you are a civil engineering company. You have lots of office staff working there. But with the utilities, you might also have employees there or a branch manager. That's your customer. When we're looking at that, then you might have an employee there that's allowed to create calls for emergency repairs. For instance, oh, street lighting is going out. I want someone to come out and take a look at it. So you might have it that from your customers, you have a bunch of employees that would be allowed to register this kind of data. You might also have a branch manager that wants to follow up on all these calls that have been created. They're being picked up on time, when has someone come out to fix the problem, etc. So we're looking at this picture. You can see that the orange icons, they're really from your customers, but you yourself, you're a civil engineering company, so the blue part. And you might have your office staff that then sees, okay, a call has come in, someone's street light isn't working anymore. I'm going to create an order for my field staff. So your customer makes use of 4PS Control, customer login, and your office staff, your own staff, makes use of 4PS Construct, the back office. Well, what would that look like? 4PS Control can be used, by the way, on any type of device. It can be used on a phone or on a tablet or on a desktop. But you've got an employee and they're able to create a call. So they can actually fill in a screen to then say, okay, what is the issue? What's going wrong? What problem is it? Where is it? And they can give a description and etc. And the good thing is they can also attach documents to it as well to make it clearer. So this is from an employee point of view, that they can log in on their mobile phone and they can create a service call. And for this employee, we've actually also said to them, okay, you can have insight in all service calls that have been created as well. So they can have updates on it to see what's happened. The utilities company might also have a branch manager who wants to be able to see the status of calls, have an insight in all calls or orders, to have insight in all assets within the system or insight in all locations. So they can log in as well, and they can actually see all of this information. They can see, for instance, emergency repairs, anything that's contractually been orders that have been created. And here they can see all the relevant information. Of course, you as a civil engineering company decides what information certain people can see here. Also nice that we've got like a map function as well. So not just being able to see any of the information just on a tile version like you see now, we'd also be able to see it on a map as well. So you can actually also geographically see where all the orders are. Well, once the call is being created and a branch manager has also seen that the call is being created, we can also have like the office staff. So they log into 4PS Construct. They can see that a call's been created, street light is flickering. So they might want to see, okay, what is the follow-up? What can we do? So they will create a service order. So that on the service order, they can start to plan the correct resource as well to be able to do the job. Or they might even have on the service order, they might say, we might actually need to add some items for our engineer to be able to, complete the job. So they can actually put the materials on here as well and actually see, okay, do we have these items in stock? Yes or no? And then to order them for them. Well, once the service order has been created, a branch manager will be updated automatically for the status as well. So they can also see that a service order has been created whilst logging into 4PS Construct. Well, the order's been created. We've prepared all the work. You might have ordered some items for our staff to be able to complete the job. So it might be lights, etc. I now want to plan it with the correct resource as well. And this could be our own resource or it could be a subcontractor. When logging into the GRP, I can actually add some filters as well to make the planning a little bit easier for me. For instance, I only want to see jobs and resources from electrical engineering or mechanical engineering. So that actually I know, okay, who can do the job. Once I've decided who's going to be doing the job, who has time, I can then also send the job to the field service app, for instance, if it's our own person doing the job. So for instance, here I said, okay, Karina, you're qualified to do the job. You're going to be allowed to do it for me. Well, once I've sent the job to the field service app, the field engineer will actually start to process the order using the field service app. So you can see all the details about the job, what the problem is, for when it's been planned, the expected amount of hours. They can start traveling, or they can accept the job and then also start working on the job as well. They can add documents to it. So take a picture or add an existing document. They can see actually which asset it is about. They can see all the relevant information about the asset. It might be that they have to add an inspection as well, like fill in a little questionnaire to say, okay, once I got there and there's an emergency, I need to check all of these as well and give answers to them. Then also for the items here, I can actually say what kind of items did I use. Well, I might have changed the LED lamp. I might have changed the fixture as well. These were items that I already had in my van, so I'm taking them from my van stock for them to be used. Or if I didn't have them in the van, I could also say, okay, I'm going to collect them from my vendor. Or I can't finish this job, so I'm going to say that I need to order them as well. Apart from items, you can also add extra costs, of course. You can give a debrief. What was your problem? How did you resolve this problem? What was the solution of the problem as well? And all this can be relevant information that you want to send back to the back office. Or for the back office, or might also be info that you want to share with your customer as well, which can of course then be shown on 4PS Control. Well, once we've completed the job, we can see the summary. We can check to see, okay, what did we actually do? You can see the amount of hours that have been spent. You can use the items. You can add a signature as well. Utility companies might not be adding a signature because if you're changing out a street light, you might not have anyone there to be able to sign the order for you. But yeah, once you've completed the order, you will see it will disappear from your work order view overview as well. So the field engineer actually knows, okay, now I am finished with the job. That's me, that's done. The order that we process now, we said, okay, we're processing it, that we're completely finished with it. We were able to add all the items in our van, so we're able to replace them, etc. Of course, it could also be that if you do not have the items in stock, or you don't have the items with you or on you, you might have said that, okay, I need someone else to come out and do the job instead of me. Then instead of completing the job, you can create a follow-up. So the office staff can then make sure that all the items that they require, that they order them for you, and they then add them to the to create another order for another resource to do the job once the items have come in. So this is really looking at it from a point of view that your own field engineer does the job. Possible, of course, as well, is that you did not have someone yourself available to do the job. So then instead of actually planning your own resource, what you would do is then you would plan a subcontractor. Well, in the graphical resource planning, we've got a lot of different options for planning, also for filterings that we can do, but also the way of if we see something like this is an order that's then planned with our own resource, but at the same time with drag and drop, we can also plan the job with a subcontractor. Within the graphical resource planning, we can add filters, so we can always navigate back to the same type of filters. Of course, we've got a day view, a week view, a month view, and in settings, we can also have custom views as well. And now seeing a custom view just for just quite clear, showing the resource employee, subcontractor, and also all my unplanned orders. But of course, if you're a very large company, you could create certain custom views as well, just only showing certain information for you. But well, yeah, if we take a look at this, we've actually said, okay, instead of us doing the job ourselves, we're going to let a subcontractor do the job. So I've planned the job with the subcontractor, and I will actually post this order on the subcontractor portal. So what do our subcontractors then do? They again log in to 4PS Control, but they've got a completely different view. So they can see work orders, and you can see all the orders that have been planned with them, and I can actually get some updates on them as well, saying, okay, these are the orders that have been assigned to me, and I'm going to say when the expected starting date is. They can add documents as well once they're finished, and they can also update any problems, etc. So again, it's the same portal as the customers, but then a different view. So they're both of them are called 4PS Control, just a different way of logging in and looking at it for your data sharing. Any updates that your subcontractor will do here will get automatically updated in 4PS Contract, and then also shown on 4PS Control, but then your customer point of view. So you can see it's a one complete integrated system, because regardless if your subcontractor has done the job or your own field engineer has done the job, the branch manager can actually always see status of the order as well when they log into 4PS Control. You can see when it started, when they were finished. They can all see that just logging in, which of course is very nice. They don't need to keep on phoning them about it. Well, once that the order has been completed by our field engineers, of course, it will come back to our back office. They will start to check the service order. They will review it to see what's actually been done. So actually all the info that you saw in the field service app gets added here as well. And they'll start the invoicing process as well. So we can see all the costs that have been created. So our field engineer was traveling for 25 minutes, spent an hour on the job. We can also see the 3 items that have been used. And depending on what kind of contractual agreements we have, from here we can start the billing process as well, the invoicing process. So you click on Generate Invoice, and what happens is that automatically an invoice is created for you. So you can see you've got the entire process within the system. And also depending on what kind of agreements that you have with your customer, also depends, of course, on what you're going to be invoicing to your customer. But with the right setup, the system works out automatically for you. So what are the advantages for service and maintenance? Well, it's integral. It's an end-to-end construction software specifically designed for the industry. Fully integrated and built on the latest technology based on Microsoft Dynamics. And it's one solution for all your processes, so no double entry, so no emails, Excels, etc. It's just got one system for using. If you look at planning, you've got total visibility. You can manage all your resources, and you can handle demanding clients, because you could also schedule teams of engineers within the service and maintenance solution. If we take a look at contracts, we can have small jobs that we have no prior agreements with. We can have simple contracts, or we can have very complex contracts as well. So lots of advantages for service and maintenance. This was just scratching the surface of it, because it's just showing you one point of view, looking into a utilities company, so more the civil engineering. Of course, there are many more ways that you can use service and maintenance for, but we just took one example for the moment. So I want to thank you and I will pass it back on to you, Adam, and he can then finish off this part.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Karina. Well, I hope you all found that interesting and useful. We often run webinars similar to this, taking a deeper dive into some of the functionality that's available in our 4PS Construct product. So do keep your eyes peeled for any upcoming webinars, which will be on the way shortly. Feel free to check on our website for recordings of past sessions, including this one, which will be going up there very soon. And if you did have any questions coming out of today's session, please feel free to get in touch with any of the fine gents that you see on the screen right now. They'll be more than happy to help you out with any questions. So once again, thank you very much for your time today. We really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you next time. Cheers. Thank you.